Hi, I'm Steve Shelburne, owner and operator of Shelburne RV here in beautiful Cleveland, Tennessee. Well, good morning. I'm back from Iowa. I'm back here in beautiful Cleveland, Tennessee. So, had a lot of work going on out there, as you can see from the last video. So I'm glad to be, I hated leaving, but I'm glad to be back here in beautiful Tennessee where, home's at. Always glad to be home. It's good to leave, but it's always glad to be home. So, a little bit of a short week this week because of the 4th of July. So, going to be closed Thursday, but I'll actually be here Friday. A lot of the boys are taking the day off, but yeah, I'll be here answering phone calls and doing that. Now, Mr. Lewis had this big Ultimate Freedom that came in this morning, and 6535 basement air, and this one here had 6.5 amps on compressor 1, but 1.7 on compressor 2. So obviously the compressor's still running, but we've got a little bit of an issue with the charge on that. So Mr. Lewis is close to having that one out. And we'll figure out what's going on with that, maybe just a broke line or something of that nature. But anyways, you can see that guy right there, Cousin Gary. He's actually off today, but his mother's got to make a trip through the airport, and she's going to Atlanta. So I'm actually going to give them both a ride to Atlanta because Cousin Gary doesn't like driving in Atlanta like the rest of us. It's Atlanta, So I'm going to give them a quick ride down to Atlanta and get her off to the airport. But the boys are rolling this morning. They've got quite a bit going on. They got a big Larado horse trailer in there, big Class A that they're finishing up. Reflection they've got sitting out here. So they've got a lot of stuff going on. But I'm back. We're going to get a bunch of stuff done. This Ultimate Freedom, we're going to try to have it out of here tomorrow or today. If worst case, if that one's got a charge issue or something going on, I actually got a completely rebuilt 6535 ready to go. So worst case, Lewis will grab it and go with it. But I have another one coming in tomorrow because, again, it's a short week. And then I've got a big Prevost Marathon over there that's got five Coleman Mach 8s on there, and one of the Mach 8s is giving problems. So we're going to dive into that tomorrow. Welcome back. I'm back here in Cleveland, Tennessee. So we're going to get rolling. I'm going to run to Atlanta and get back, and then we're going to hit it hard. So let's go. All right, so another one we had come in here. This customer brought this big reflection in, and he had stated that when he goes from 50 to 30 to 15, he's getting shocked. So done a little checking. Let me show you what we found. All right, so we've got it replicated right here. We got 50 to 30, 30 to 15, which again, I don't hardly recommend you do that. I mean, it's fine if you're just going to charge the batteries, but again, sometimes there's some issues there. Let's go in here. Mr. Jeff's got his meter set up. So let's see what you got between. So you've got 0.05 between there. Go between the neutral and the bare. 0.2. Let me see your voltage coming in on the black wire on the breaker, between the white and the black on the breaker right here. What you got? What you got there? 119 volts. Okay, so not sure what he's done. I mean, the receptacle could be a problem at the house, maybe not wired right. His adapter plug could be wrong. I mean, there could be several things going on right there. Not really sure, but plugged up here, it appears to be working fine. I mean, we're not seeing anything that's crazy. I mean, we could take a voltage meter at the hitch, maybe, but appears there's typically when we have a hot skin or a loose ground or a missing ground, you're going to have more than 20 volts at the breaker box. So, I don't know. It appears to be right. There may be something going on at his house, but we'll have to see. More to come on that. Hey, Mr. Lewis has got the 6535 out. Now, you see how nasty that is, but let's look right here. Look what's going on here. Pretty bad. So we're going to have to get this one cleaned up and get it tore apart and figure out why that compressor 2 only has 1 amp All right, so on this thermostat, you can see I've got a new one here and an old one here. And what was happening was when we actually turned the unit off, compressor 1 and the fan was still running, even though it was off. And so come to find out, what we found out was, for some reason on the back of this plug, and this is where we had to dig into more, this is the furnace wire. And so when this unit sends 12 volts up from the furnace and you call for gas heat, the 12 volt signal's got to be put back on this to tell the furnace to go. Well, for some reason, this wire has 12 volts coming from the furnace, and so what was happening was it was back feeding on this thermostat, and the air conditioner was never shutting off. You know, I say I learn something new every day. I mean, all the years I've been doing it, I've never run into that situation. That was the first for me. So yeah, trying to figure out why when the thermostat was off, the air conditioner was still running, but it was only running compressor 1 and fan, and the actual light on the board was off. The red fan light on the board was off. So now that it's up and running correctly, we got the correct amp draw on compressor 1, correct amp draw on compressor 2. So, you know, some days I think I've seen it all, and then that happens. Who knew? All right, so got back from Atlanta yesterday. Had a bunch of phone calls while I was gone, so I really didn't get much done other than just calling a lot of you guys. So, but I'm back now. Got cousin Gary's mom off at the airport, so a little less stress for him driving through Atlanta. Got a Winnebago Journey down here. Just came in. Lewis got the other one fixed up yesterday. It had, remember, it had 1.5 amp on compressor 2. And the gentleman was a truck driver, and he needed to get back to work pretty fast. And I had a completely rebuilt 6535 in the shop up there. So we just swapped him out with the one we had. And then I'll go through that one when I got a minute. But yeah, got him fixed up. He had that little problem with the thermostat where it was back feeding 12 volts from the furnace that was causing the thermostat to continually run. We got that fixed and he got gone. So I got this Winnebago Journey ready to go. So we're gonna bring it up here, get him going on that. And then I've got to dive into those 5 Mach 8 air conditioners on that Prevost Millennium that came in, or out of the Marathon that came in yesterday also. So I'm gonna dive into that here in a few minutes. But we're gonna here see what we can get into. All right, so Mr. Lewis got this one all put back together yesterday. It did have a bad compressor too. Now you can see how many compressors we've changed out last month. Been a lot of compressors. But yeah, I had a bad compressor too. I've got it charged. He's gonna hook it up and run it on the test box here this morning and see what's going on with it. And then that one there, he did while I was gone to Iowa. That also had a bad compressor. But they've got it all done and it's working. And then I had a guy bring me, as you can see, I'm basement air poor right now. And that's one that I've got to go through. That's one I've got to go through. And then I had a guy sell me this one yesterday. He took it out, his coach. So we'll go through it. So I got several of them here sitting, waiting for me. Just kind of my stock stuff. So I can go through them and see what's going on with them. But yeah, there you go. All right, so this big Prevost bus I've got out here this morning. I've actually been working on it a little bit this morning. This one's got 4 old Coleman low profiles, which they don't make anymore. They went to the Mach 8, which is good because them are a pain in the butt to work on. So I got him under control. The one over the bathroom area actually had a bad fan blade, and so it was in there making noise. The one right here over the living room actually has got a bad fan motor, and so we checked the capacitor on it, and the capacitor was low. Put a cap in it, and that motor's dragging so bad that after about 10 minutes it's so stinking hot you can't even touch it. So gonna have to order a motor for that one. So, but that one there is built out by Marathon. That's a Prevost built out by Marathon, but it does have 4 old style Coleman low profiles. So anyways, Should have took some video. I was up there trying to get it knocked out. I was here earlier in the morning. The boys have been rolling this morning. So, yeah, I was just trying to get that one done while I had a minute. Because I was supposed to work on it Monday. Had to take cousin Gary to the airport. Supposed to work on it yesterday. I had a doc's appointment. And then you guys were calling me all day, which is fine. No worries. But I came in early and got that done. And got busy and didn't get the video done. Got to take my word for it. That's the way it goes some days. All right, so the water tank for scale trains came in. Remember, this one was damaged. Had a hole in it. So we've gotten the new tank in, and Mr. Thomas has been over here getting everything plumbed and ready. So just getting it ready to go back in. One of the projects the boys was working on while I was gone, again, is this hurricane. It's been here for a little bit. Obviously had some damage with the wood panels. We talked about that a couple videos back. But they went in here and got all the material cut out, and actually have got the stain on it. Was able to find a place to, PPG was actually able to match the stain for us. So they're getting everything stained for that. And you can see all the parts sitting out here, everything's stained. So it's getting ready next week to have those parts put back in it. All right, so the next project here is this little Launch Extreme. Customer bought this as it'd been sitting, I guess, and it was an old stock. It's a brand new camper, but it was old stock. So literally brand new. He bought it brand new, and so they said it hadn't been driven anywhere. But look at here. It said the brakes were pulling funny. That appears to have been underwater. I don't know. But yeah, that's not normal. So I'm gonna dive into this just a little bit more and see what we can figure out. All right, so you can see the old tank out of scale trains. Now, Mr. Thomas has actually got the new tank in there, but after installing the new tank, that sensor's leaking. And you can see how they did these with these little, well, I've never seen sensors like this. Most of the time they just drill holes in them and you tighten them down and they seal. But this one here on the new tank is actually leaking. Leaking around the little brass or metal end right there. So we're gonna pull the tank back out. I'm gonna take and spin weld a fitting to close that up, and then we'll drill right there with one of those expandable type sensors and put that in there. So a little disappointing that, you know, brand new tank and it's weeping just enough water to be a pain in the butt, but we got a solution for it. Sucks, got to pull it back out and fix it, but it is what it is. We'll get this one all fixed up and ready to go out the door. All right, well, hope everybody had a good, happy 4th of July with your families. We're actually here today. It's just Jen and cousin Gary. So all the boys took the rest of the weekend off, and they'll be back next week. So thank you again for all the comments from last week. I was traveling out to Iowa and got all that under control. So hope everybody had a great holiday weekend with your families. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you back here next week. And remember that this video is
Cousin Gary approved.
You guys take care now.